Hello guys, this is Jay, true citizen of India, true youngster of India. Today I'm here to talk about three things that are plaguing this nation absolutely from core to the bottom. Number one is this, I'm here to talk about the AP special status issue that is burning from a long time, which was promised by the central government. Number two, I'm here to talk about the Gauri Lankesh murder. Number three, I'm here to talk about the most important thing of them all, the Hindutva agenda that nobody is talking about. And I'm going to talk everything in English because up north, there are lots of North Indians who don't understand the regional language called as Telugu. So without any further ado, let me get into the first topic. The first topic that I want to talk about is this. Back in 2014, right? Let me tell you this thing before all that. Let me tell you this thing. Lots of North Indians up north, they still don't even know that the state of Andhra Pradesh has been divided into two parts. Yes, Andhra Pradesh, the state has been divided into two parts right now. One is called as Telangana, the second one is called as Andhra Pradesh. This happened in the year 2014. Yes, that's right. So after then, during the process, during the bifurcation process, during the electoral process, BJP and the Congress party said that AP needs the special status at any cost. It's mandatory for the lifeline of Andhra Pradesh. And unfortunately, till date, as of now, there is no news regarding the AP special status. So let me tell you how important is special status. If the special status is being given to Andhra Pradesh, it can provide lots of employment opportunities for lots of youngsters in the Rayalaseema, in the Andhra Pradesh, as well as in the Telangana too. Not only that, it can bring lots of industries, it can bring lots of multinational companies. With that, it can help in creating indirect, direct employment opportunities as well as new business opportunities. Until now, the AP special status is not being granted. It will not be, I'm not even sure, will it be granted or not. The second thing that they promised is this. They said they'll be constructing us a new steel plant in Kadapa. Until now, there is not even been a single stone laid on Kadapa steel plant, unfortunately. So this is how things are happening right now. The third thing that they said is this. They said they'll be providing us Duggarajpatnam port. They'll be aiding us in the construction of Duggarajpatnam port. Until now, Duggarajpatnam port, there is not been a single stone laid out there till now, unfortunately. If the Duggarajpatnam port is built, it can be useful, it can be helpful in creating more employment opportunities, as well also it will boost lots of maritime trade opportunities for Andhra Pradesh. And unfortunately, it's being very much neglected. The fourth thing that they said is this. They said they'll be providing us Polavaram project. They said the whole funding, the whole allocation of funds will be provided for the Polavaram project. But unfortunately, for the Polavaram project, there is no way things are turning up right now. Till now, the central government is not funding the whole budget for the Polavaram project. The fifth thing that they said to us, they'll be providing us, they'll be giving all the funds and they'll provide all the resources for the building of two metro rail projects in Vijayawada as well as Vizag. But unfortunately, till now, there is no sign of progress on that too. They even said they'll provide us a special package of 100 crores for the 3 districts of Uttarandhra as well as 4 districts of Rayalaseema. Until date, there is no sign of that too, unfortunately. You see this? The list goes on. I can just keep the list going on and on forever. They even said they'll be building new prestigious, famous institutions like IIMs, IITs and all that in Andhra Pradesh. And still now, I don't see any of those things till now. At last, they even said they'll be providing us a new railway zone for the city of Vizag. But till now, for the city of Vizag, there is no special railway zone for that too. And these are all the poor promises that were made back in 2014. And unfortunately, till now, the Indian government doesn't have the integrity to stick by its promises. How shame is that? The second topic that I want to talk about is the Gauri Lankesh murder. Many of you folks don't know that Gauri Lankesh is one of the most preeminent female journalists of all time in India. Lots of people don't even know who is Gauri Lankesh, what Gauri Lankesh did. Let me tell you, Gauri Lankesh is one of its kind. I mean, one of her kind. She was the only person out there who tried to do news, who tried to bring news without any commercial phenomenon. Right now, do you see any newspapers, do you see any media agencies right now these days without any commerciality? Every newspaper, every media agency, it has got its own marketing propaganda, it has got its own commercial propaganda, it has got its own advertising propaganda. But Gauri Lankesh was one such of a person who tried to bring news, who tried to bring out news and media without any commercial propaganda. She ran bi-weekly magazine, she ran newspaper without any commercial propaganda. How great is that? She always stood with minorities. She was always against the majority, the affluent class, the class that is exploiting, that is discriminating the minorities. She always stood against the BJP's atrocities back in Karnataka. She was against the forced conversions. She was against the forced conversions of marriages. She was against the forced religious conversions of Muslims into Hindus, of Christians into Hindus. And what happened to her? The BJP thugs, the RSS thugs, they go to her, they kill her in the dark night. How bad is that? How shame is that? How sick is that? What's wrong with this nation exactly? What's wrong with this nation? Absolutely. Article 19 and Article 21 clearly states this nation is for the minorities. Article 19 clearly states protection of certain rights, including freedom of speech. What's wrong? What's wrong with talking? What's wrong with saying her opinion? You just went to there, you just kill her. What's wrong with you people? Absolutely. Article 21 clearly says protection of liberty and personal rights. So what's wrong with that too? You simply went to her, you just kill her, you spoil her personal liberty, you went into her personal liberty and you kill her, you murder her. How sick is that? I sincerely feel there is something wrong with this nation right now, the way it is heading. The third and the most important topic that I want to talk is regarding the Hindutva agenda. Right now, there is a plague, there is a cancer going on in the state of Gujarat, but unfortunately nobody knows about that, nobody even talks about it. Even though some people know about that, they deliberately they don't even talk about that. In the institutions of Gujarat, in the schools of Gujarat, the children are being taught in a wrong way. In the schools, they are showing Indian map as Akhand Bharat. Everybody knows Akhand Bharat doesn't exist right now. Akhand Bharat existed in the regimes, during the regime of Chandragupta Maurya and during the regime of Ashoka back in the times of BC. Nowadays, Sri Lanka is not a part of India, Bangladesh is not part of India, Pakistan is not part of India, Nepal is not part of India. How can you include all these different countries into India, and how can you project India as Akhand Bharat? How foolish is that? And not only that, in the schools of Gujarat, they're having a new tales, a new poetic tales where it says that God has created three absolute races. The first race was the Negro race, the black race, who are absolutely shitty people, who doesn't have common sense, who are not so brainy, who are not so intellectual. So God thought for a while, and God created a new race called as the white race. And God even felt that the white race was not even up to the mark. They were not as that much as intellectual as he expected. So finally, the God created the third race called as the Indian, the Hindu race, which is the most intellectual, the most intelligent, the most brainy race. How stupid is this? How inane is this? How inane is it good to listen to this? It's absolutely bullshit, man. So how can you create this kind of useless propaganda, and how can you penetrate this into small kids? I mean, the small kids are the future generation of this nation. So it's like you're just making sure that you're putting this unwanted cancer, this unwanted virus called as Hindutva agenda into the small kids. This can be a huge problem for the integrity of the nation in the future. If you start creating this kind of propaganda, in the future, these kids might be considering themselves as supremacists. They might consider themselves as racially the most dominant species of them all. They might have this supremacist agenda of all time. They might feel that they are the best race. They have this all the time. They'll have this racial discrimination for others. This is not the kind of nation that we want to see. Article 29 clearly states protection of interests of minorities. Where are the interests of minorities are being protected right now? I see a sincere breach in the Constitution of India and the way that India is going right now. I firmly believe the Indian Constitution is the holy book of India. It's not the Quran, it's not the Bhagavad Gita, it's not the Bible. The Constitution of India is the holy book of India. The holy temple of India is not the masjid, is not the church, is not the temple, or is not Gurudwara. It's the constitution. It's the Parliament of India. The Parliament of India is the holy temple of India. We always stood with this secular philosophy. We always stood with this egalitarianistic principles. We always stood with this, the middle democratic principles. So what's wrong with the way that the nation is going right now? I sincerely condemn this as a true citizen, as a true youngster of India. Even though I'm a Hindu, I was born as a Hindu, I sincerely condemn this. I do want to see India as a nation for the Democrats, for the minorities, for everyone, for liberals, for seculars, and for egalitarianistic principles. This nation was built on pure egalitarianism and democracy. But unfortunately right now, things are not in that way. I sincerely condemn this. By the way, this is Jay, who is hoping for a new India. Jai Hind.